One of the things you'll learn is that after a certain moment, there's very little value that you are getting by paying more for anything. And it's usually just prestige items that you end up paying more for and focusing on. And it's communicating status, prestige, those kind of things. And it's why, when I'm traveling, for example, almost all the clothes that I buy, they all come from Costco. And if you look at them, they're quality clothes, but they cost a fraction of what the actual value actually is. It'd be like $15 for a t-shirt. And, this is a realization that particular item, I have, in a case of where somebody bought a present for me and it was a t-shirt. And it was a dress shirt, and that dress shirt cost $100 at a store. And then we went to Costco and found the exact same the exact same clothing, for $15. You have to realize that much of this world is sort of communicating things like status and symbolism. And, once you get around that, once you sort of see, even the best clothing, the best hotels, the best cars, all of those kind of things are communicating something that frankly doesn't matter all that much. My wife and I are in pretty strong agreement on most things with that. And we often, we take a very pragmatic approach. We sort of analyze things based on the she doesn't call it this, but based on the value of what you're actually getting for the cost, right? Is sort of looking at, are we actually benefiting by paying more? So most of the stuff that we buy is actually quite pragmatic. And, either of us go through somewhat stages where we don't, we're maybe a little bit more frivolous on different components of our life. But then we almost always default to realizing like the sort of frivolous stuff that you end up paying for, man, it just does not add any value. Even things like, technology, right? You end up overpaying significantly on technology. We end up buying the simplest thing. You can buy this sort of high-end computer for $5,000 or whatever, or just buy a Chromebook today. And essentially for all of the activities, they're equivalent. And if you start looking around and you start looking at, what is actually adding value versus communicating some sort of symbolism, I think you end up making vastly different decisions in your life. And being much happier about it. Being okay with, I am going to sort of value things that matter, and the rest of it is just frivolous nonsense. So by doing that, if you do that repeatedly for many years, we've been able to do a lot of stuff by focusing on that, by prioritizing, what are the things that actually matter to us, what gives us value, and only spending money on those particular things versus communicating the sort of status. So not only that we've done, I would say, we've done okay. My wife and I are pretty solid, stable ground. Given who we are, we could probably, I'm in my early 40s. She's the same age as me, and we could probably retire if we wanted to, at any given point and do moderately okay, right? Like we would be not necessarily, going to the Ritz-Carlton every day, but we would probably be okay. We would manage. And so I think that by doing this repeatedly and sort of analyzing things and looking at, does it provide value in our life? Can we actually benefit from this thing given the cost? I think is an important choice. And that allows you to do a lot of stuff. Right? So lots of things that people would sort of spend on, we sort of question and we think like, hey, is this worthwhile? Should we be doing this? And if the answer is not always like very, very like a hell yeah, then you just disclose, then you just don't pursue it, right? Like if you're not very excited about that particular choice, why would you actually pursue it given the cost of what it actually is? And so, we take our time, we're slow with decisions, but we're also very thoughtful about most things, even sort of simple things, right? Like a coffee maker, for example. We delayed purchasing for a long time, and we just finally purchased a new coffee maker. Lots of things like that communicate things, more status and symbolism than what they need be. And you have to look at that. What does it mean to actually have this thing in your life? Does it add value given the cost of what it actually is? And if the answer is an emphatically yes, then you probably should make that purchase. If not, don't worry about it. It doesn't add that much value, and you're going to be that better off by not making that purchase decision. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.